here in the car at the trailhead for Wind Cave Canyon Trail. It is a 3.8 mile hike and it is labeled as easy. So I'm pretty sure we're just going to be strolling through the canyon.
Let's get to it.
And here we go. Hopefully we get away from that road. Why aren't you moving your arms at all? Oh. Now, from what we could tell, Wind Cave National Park does not have a whole lot of longer hikes. And just driving through the park a bit the other day, it seems like a lot of the scenery is the same. The park really is about the cave, which we went on a tour of, and that was pretty cool. There's some cooler tours of the cave offered than what we were able to go on. They just cost more, and they are only available in the summer. But all that to say, the hikes are not necessarily the forte of this park, is what it seems. But we'll see. Maybe there will be a beautiful surprise. Forecast says 100% chance of rain in about 30 minutes. So we'll see. Maybe my next video I'll be soaking wet. There's the rain I believe they are speaking of. I've already gotten a ton of video and I'm only that far down the trail. So what Wind Cave advertises of itself is in... I don't smell anything. Oh, well, I was about to say that. What Wind Cave advertises itself, it seems like 4 things. Native American history, the cave itself, of course, the prairies / the wildlife of the prairie, buffalo, prairie dog, that whole deal. And they like to point to their ponderosa pine. And so here is our first close encounter with the ponderosa pine of Wind Cave National Park. It's actually, this is kind of cool hiking back. I mean, it's what I expected though. They call it Wind Cave Canyon. So it's cool hiking between these hills down into this canyon of sorts. Just really steep, not really rocky, but there's some rocks. A little bit of rockiness. We got rocky road ahead of us. Look at that. See? Right as I say it, there's a canyon wall. Now, if you are used to Yosemite National Park or Rocky Mountain or, I don't know, any of those ones that are known for some of their views, if you're coming straight from there, this hike may be boring. But thankfully, we started here. And we kind of did that on purpose. Our tour of the national parks, we wanted to go to the Dakotas. The camera was drooping there. Just so that we can appreciate them, because it is beautiful. But you hear of people doing things like what we're doing, and they kind of get spoiled on stuff. And I would hate to come to any national park and think, oh, that was lame. Because really, this is beautiful. It's better than anything Nebraska has to offer, that's for sure. Nothing quite like a power line to ruin a nice, I don't know, hill. I always like bodies of water, even puddles of melted snow. Something that's been a downer on this hike so far. We are on basically a road. There were power lines a little bit ago. Saw a fence a bit before that. There's some sort of facility thing back there through the trees. So if you're looking for some isolation, at least so far, I'll give you an update later. Oh, that's a cool rock formation. Kind of looks like some of the formations that were in the cave. Like the water eroded that away. That's kind of cool. Maybe this is our opening to the cave. red rocks, though, are pretty cool along the canyon. Been appreciating those. They're very vibrant. So that's neat. And haven't seen any human constructions in a while, besides the trail, which is a road. But that's not that big a deal. It's a dirt road and it was blocked off. So I'm sure it's just so that the park rangers can get through if they have to. But yeah, it's pretty neat. This is just very red rock. Oh yeah, those smell good. Just a second ago she said, come here, smell it. That is a great smell. This has been ever since leaving civilization, it has been a surprisingly cool hike to me. It's simple, but big hills, weather always helps. It's a little windy. Laura's ears were getting cold, but other than that, it's been nice, right? Yeah? What have you thought so far?
Pretty cool.
So Laura literally said, it's pretty cool. Surprised we haven't seen wildlife. Speaking of, we got ourselves a buffalo right over there. So I think our plan is we could either take Highland Creek Trail, which just split off right there at that post, or we could loop way around through the grass over there. Not planning on getting anywhere close. Highland Creek Trail. Oh, that's 8.5. We don't want to do 8.5, do we? No. Do you want to try going way around through the grass, or? Well, we got about halfway to going around him. Got a closer view. We're reminded of his natural defenses and decided we're just going to go back. Just not even worth it. So we'll just go back. We got about halfway and then decided that is just, we also don't want to destroy the environment. I don't know. We just came from Badlands and that's open hiking policy. I doubt they have it here. It's probably just better to stay on the trail. And if there's a bison on the trail, better to turn around. Onward. Or backward. I was just telling her the other day, it's funny because you're seeing all this wildlife. We saw a ton of wildlife on our drive in. I mean, we literally saw buffalo, prairie dog, pronghorn, antelope. Actually, it's funny, the one I was most excited about was just a coyote, but it's cool because he was running through a prairie dog field, and so it's kind of cool to see his predator eyes darting around and stuff. It's funny because now from Badlands to Wind Cave, we've seen so many buffalo, so many prairie dogs. Of course, we were super excited when we first saw them, but now we're kind of at a point where we almost are just pointing out when we see one out of obligation, because you know that they're not everywhere. They're in very select parts of really the entire world, and so you kind of just feel like, oh, there's a buffalo, but it's like we've seen countless at this point, just on the side of the road and stuff, and obviously on the side of the trail. But it is really cool to see them, even still. But just the drama of the moment has definitely decreased, and we still have Theodore Roosevelt to go, which is supposed to have a lot of buffalo as well. The trail that we are doing is called Sanctuary Trail, and it connects to a Centennial Trail loop. If you did the whole thing, it'd be over 11 miles. We are not planning that. We are already hungry for dinner. So we're just doing the 4 miles of Sanctuary Trail.
And it's supposed to be good for some bird watching, so we'll see if that is accurate. Mm-hmm.
Just right away, looking down the trail, there's snow over it. So hopefully this isn't another muddy mess.
Stay tuned.
Hopefully we'll be able to finish this one.
So yeah, it looks like we actually are in Wind Cave National Park, but it does border right along Custer. So I think if you wanted to, you could do a little bit of Custer.
Here's the snowy trail I was talking about already. I think I like this hike a little better. These trees are pretty cool. We're up into the mountains a little bit more. Haven't seen any civilization, of course, besides the road to get here. And we're gonna hike 3.5 miles. So that means that we will get 3.5 miles, hopefully, away from everything. That sign that we were just looking at also said that we are supposed to come across some old homesteads. So that'll be kind of cool. Some historical markers, people who put down their roots here. Something Laura and I will do. Not here necessarily. Actually, definitely. I don't think you can even build on national parks, but homestead. So Laura's knee is still being goofy. I ran back to get her sticks. Don't be surprised if, like, our next stop is Theodore Roosevelt. If we only do the tiny hikes, we would rather allow her to heal, save the push for bigger parks, more bucket list hikes. So we're going to continue on this one because we've been kind of lazy for the past few days, and it's only moderately strenuous, but I don't know. Hopefully this doesn't continue on through the rest of the trip. It is nice because it's not super muddy. Just the I mean, there's mud, but there's like pine and everything, and then sections of snow, so it's not like the other day at Badlands. Which, by the way, I will say, if you ever see this cord across here, it's because I'm charging my phone. This thing right here, one of my favorite things I've gotten for my pack. It's solar. You just strap it to the outside, and it is how I am able to make sure that I get all these video, that I do all trails. I don't remember how much it was, maybe $30. I got a cheap one from Sierra first. That sucked. So just kind of pay the extra buck, and I was at 10% battery at the start of this hike, and I plugged in, and I don't think we've even gone a quarter of a mile. I mean, the road's still there, and I'm like up to 50%. This thing is awesome. And then you don't have to worry about it running out and having to like recharge it. I've seen people bring just like the big batteries that you charge in an outlet or in a car. You know, it just uses the power of the sun, uses light, charges up, and charges your phone. So there is my advice to you. It also, I actually don't need this cord. You can just place the phone directly against the back of it and it charges. Of course, that won't work while I'm hiking though. So yeah, that was a little rant. So this trail is already pretty cool. You're tucked up in what I believe are the Black Hills. Again, I'll fact check at the end of that.
I have something in my shoe.
She has something in her shoe. This is a perfect stopping point. But now that we veered off from the road, you got, you know, anytime there's a color contrast, I always appreciate that. The gold of the prairies with the dark pine on the hills. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. I'll turn the camera around here. And yeah, it's cool. Rocky, hilly, contrast of colors. I think I hear prairie dogs.
And it's cleaning my shoes.
Yay! From the mud of the Badlands.
Yeah, is this your prairie dog town? Prairie town? Prairie.
Is there supposed to be one along this hike?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, yeah, definitely hear him chirping.
And it goes to a creek.
Okay, look at this. She knows everything.
And then it said, look out for pine, where the homesteaders ate for their drinking water.
Huh?
So, be on the lookout.
Definitely hear the prairie dogs barking out in that field. Can see them probably to the naked eye. Not on a phone though. They're pretty small out there running around in the distance. But I'll just be quiet for a second here and let you hear the barking. Yeah. We are coming upon something on the trail. White and thin and...
Oh, it's an antler!
Oh.
Can we take it home with us?
I don't know, are you allowed to?
Wow, look at that.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
Nice. Kind of weird, this antler has a chunk taken out of it. Leave it for somebody else to find and enjoy, right?
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Okay.
And then they'll take it. Got a lot of saplings around us. Kind of fun. A thick forest up there. Dang. We'll try and get a better video, but that was it was blue. I'm guessing a mountain bluebird. Yeah, I don't know. As Laura said at the beginning, they're supposed to be songbirds. That was the first set we saw. I wish I could have gotten it better.
Yeah, those look 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5, a little blue.
Very bright blue.
Yeah, very bright blue. Snowy but green. It's looking pretty cool, actually. We just hiked all the way across back that way along the prairie. And then we went like between, you can't see it because of the trees, big hill there, kind of a canyon of hills, I guess. And yeah, got some snow, looks cool. Into the pines. What's been kind of cool about this hike, as you can tell, nobody has been here for a while. This is not new snow by any means. It hasn't snowed since we've been here, so at least a few days. I would imagine this would be from earlier in the winter. It's been nicer and warmer lately. By warmer, I mean above freezing, so no tracks in the snow besides actually a few deer, but that always makes a hike nicer. You want to get away from people. Sinking a bit. It's very soft. There are no bear in this area. There are no really predators. We have ticks, poison ivy, which are two, I guess, safety. That's funny. Safety threats. Oh.
Some sort of bird.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, turkey. Maybe there's turkey here. Okay, it's probably turkey. Anyway, poison ivy, ticks. Don't have to worry now. It's too early in the spring. Oh, that smells good. Buffalo, which aren't predators. You just don't be stupid. Which obviously we played on the cautious side with that buffalo in the trail earlier. And then I don't even remember the last threat, but it wasn't really a threat. Rattlesnakes. That was it. That is a threat, but not at this time of year. Again, too early. So, all to say, we have looked up to the left and right, as hikers do, just trying to stay vigilant, but there's really no reason for it. No bears, no mountain lions, even though it looks like a great environment for them from my very limited experience and zoological, I don't know, knowledge. I don't know. My mom's a big bird lady. And by big bird lady, I mean she's big into birds. She's not big and a bird lady.
He doesn't err on Sophie's Street.
Yes, she's also not a big bird lady. So, few clarifications. Big is describing the passion she has for birds. Big is not tied to bird as a title. Again, that adjective is describing my mother's fandom of birds. So she is not a big bird lady. She's not a big bird lady. She is big into birds. The best way to say it. Those birds, I don't know what they were. She is a big bird lady in the way I described earlier. I am not, so I have no idea what they were.
My guess is pheasants.
Pheasants.
What's your guess?
They kind of sounded like Wookiees. We are now coming up on the prairie dog town that you hike right up next to. Is surely a wife favorite. The cute little prairie dogs. She enjoys them so much that if someday we got a farm and the prairie dog ate all of our crap and we were poor, she would be happy because she got to see prairie dogs and feed them in a roundabout way. They should be all up. You can see their little mounds, all those little darker spots. They were just chirping, running around a bit ago. Obviously, they are afraid of us, though. I am hungry. I could eat a prairie dog. This prairie dog built his little hole right next to the trail. And, oh, there they are! I don't see him. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, the one screaming's right there on his hill.
The alarm is going off. Do you think that's where they got the idea of an actual alarm? You know, like an alarm. And they're like, oh, that's a great attention grabber. Look at these. They're building their home right next to us.
No, look at this one.
Whoa, this one is on the trail. Why would he do that? It's all... Wow, that's a big one. Do you think if I turned on night vision, I'd be able to see them? So fun fact about prairie dogs, because I'm actually teaching a class about them tomorrow. They are from the squirrel family.
That's why I love them.
Yes, they are from the squirrel family, not from the dog family. They were just called that because their sounded like a bark. Yep. Yeah, it sounds more like a chirp to me, but whatever. They have the most complex language of any animal species. They have different calls for different predators and a lot of different ways of communicating based off of the pitch and frequency of their little barks. So they're pretty brilliant communicators.
What if one just like popped out of here and like attacked? That'd be crazy.
That would be terrifying. Be like Monty Python. That little guy just went right into this one.
What? He did?
Yeah, he did. This one was a little bit late to the morning call. Everybody else went scurrying away. Obviously, though, he's the one who's put on guard.
Yeah, but he like was late to warn everybody. we were right here, and then he's like, "Oh."
Maybe he's saying, "They're still here. They're still here. They're still here. They're still here. They're still here." More prairie dog knowledge. Prairie dogs do a lot of good for a lot of other animal species. There are species of owls that burrow in their burrows. There are snakes that burrow in their holes. There is a rare brown ferret that was recently reintroduced to the Badlands anyway. Its only prey is prairie dogs. Prairie dogs also chew up grass around all of their burrows, most likely so that they can see predators in sight. So they chew up the grass, they mow the lawn, And then when they chew up the grass, they just leave the clippings all over the place. That fertilizes the soil, helps nutrient-rich grass to grow, and it helps buffalo get more nutrients because the grass has been fertilized. And then the buffalo, in return, help out the prairie dogs too, because they're eating the grass, which is clearing their site again for predators. So it kind of works in a circular way there. Just cross that stream. So we are leaving the prairie dog town that I know of.
Weird.
Got a lot of bones up around here.
It's so scary.
Pelvis, I'd imagine. Huh. My dad always told me to not touch bones because you don't know if they're diseased. I don't know if that's true. Some signs of life. We are coming up to the homestead.
That's cool. Right?
It's kind of crushy looking.
Is that it?
How do they stay dry? You just like huddle underneath a rock? I bet you that is it though. All my stupid jokes aside, look, see, there's even some metal things here. Is this where you would stead your home?
Sure. Why not?
It's where you tie your shoe.
Tell you that much.
Huh, pretty cool. Oh yeah, look, you can see it more clearly. These are like built in and a lot more in a line. Yep. Yeah. She just said it's kind of eerie, don't you think? Yes it is. That people lived right here so long ago. They said there's an open section along the creek where the homesteaders, which are right up there, where they constructed a pond though. We are now headed back. The end of the trail was extremely insignificant. Went about, I don't know, 200 feet more, and then it just came to the end of a loop with this same scenery. It wasn't like a view or anything. The homestead really was the crescendo, which was cool and kind of creepy and kind of sad and kind of existential and kind of historical and kind of... Laura, any other words to add? It was kind of spooky. But yeah, now we're headed back. We always like to try to eat our snack at the end of the trail where there's a view. But since there wasn't, and since we have an hour until sunset, and it took us an hour to get here.
We also have a warm meal waiting for us at home.
Well, not quite yet. We have the ingredients to make a warm meal waiting for us at home. Decided to just head back, and I'm just eating it as I walk here. Good times with a beautiful young wife. I was going to say old wife because that's kind of an expression, but she is young, and she is certainly beautiful. This is kind of cool. We didn't notice it on our way in, but that is, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, that a deer was here, a male deer trying to shed his antlers, brushing it up against the tree. Wow, that's beautiful. That's very cool. Of course, it doesn't quite come out on camera, but just to give details about our pace, it took us, according to All Trails, an hour and 20 minutes to get to our destination. We are now at 1 hour and 45 minutes, and we are 2/3 of the way back. That comes down to the way that we hike, particularly Laura, and I appreciate this about her. She slowed me down a bit. She likes to take it slow, enjoy all of the little things along the way. Now that we've seen it, now she's booking it. I can't keep up with her. Water. So we were talking the other day. This is the point of every hike, and to me, it doesn't matter the distance. Like, this was only 4 miles. That's not too bad. Where it really drags. You're on your way back. You are probably, I don't know, 2/3 of the way back. And it's like you shouldn't even be tired, but you just feel tired. Just because you know you're almost there. Regardless of how hungry or not hungry you are, thirsty or not thirsty you are, all of that, tired. You get tired about 2/3 of the way back on a hike. It's just because the end is close, but not quite close enough to give you like that final push. It's just like, oh, even though I love it. Okay, here we are coming up at the end. The light is so cool right now. Kind of a light gray and blue, a orangish, goldish sort of color. And it really does cool light things on the prairie as well. The kind of the gold and maybe slight incoming green. But man, it's been a light show in South Dakota for sure. But yeah, here we are at our car. So it's now a few days later since our last hike, 2 days later. Snowed a few inches overnight. We are about to hike Rankin Ridge Trail, which looks like it goes to the top of a hill and then up a tower. And we actually saw the tower from the end of our most previous hike. Road going up to the trailhead is not maintained during the winter. It's all covered with snow, so we will have to hike an extra 0.3 miles. We are willing to do that, and we are going to take off here. Do you have anything to say?
Nope. Wish us luck.
And we are off. Laura's pretty sad because she can't find her gloves, so she has to wear my snow gloves, my backpacking gloves that she got me a few years ago for Christmas. Some really nice, thick leather winter gloves called Giver. Here, wait, I'll turn the camera around. I flipped it around. Giver, they have been great. Just re-waxed them a bit ago, but man, do they keep your hands warm. But they are pretty poofy on her. She won't be able to fix her hair when it blows in the wind. Have I ever hiked in the snow like this, where it's like you are hiking in the snow, you know, not just like little patches? Have I ever done that? I do not believe so. So this is a first. And we are going up to that tower right up there. Our hike, Sanctuary Trail from a couple days ago, we hiked into the valley on the other side of that hill, like I was explaining in the car. So at one point in all of my talking on Sanctuary Trail, I pointed out how the contrast of colors were really cool with the green of the trees, the dark green of the trees, and the prairie. And I found out after the fact that that is actually why they are called the Black Hills. Is the Native Americans who lived here observed how dark the pine of the trees, how much they contrasted the prairie. And so it was originally a Native American word. I don't remember what it was that meant Black Hills, because it made the hills look black in contrast to the gold of the prairie. So we got to experience that firsthand. This is going to be happening the whole hike. It's windy. She has this long, pretty hair. All right. It's incredible You know, in a lot of these videos, I have to edit it so you can hear what Laura says, because she has that little cute little voice with no bass in it. But man, that really cuts out everything you can hear with the snow, because it insulates, really cuts out her sound. We're at a point now where I'm wondering, I mean, I bought the snowshoes. I doubt we'll be able to use them on the trip. I think this would have been our chance just to experience snowshoeing. It's deep, well, of course, right when I go down, it's shallow. But a minute ago, I was really happy to lift my knees in order to keep moving forward. Avoid snow from getting in my boots. For this hike, I think I need to reseal my boots. Tiny bit of wetness is getting in. I'm kind of disappointed with these. I can't remember what kind of boots they're, but I got them because they said, the reviews said, I've had these for several years. I was like, this is perfect for the trip, and they have fallen apart. I am kind of rough on my shoes, but at the same time, I've only been wearing these 6 months, and they're already falling apart, so I may reseal them with wax. I may look for a new pair. It seems like it's obvious, but the snow is really making it tougher, having to lift your knees a lot more. The person who hiked this before us, probably sometime this morning, they also walked kind of duck-footed. And so it's making it unnatural for our hiking here, having to walk awkward or get snow in our boots. Looks like we're now coming up on the actual ridge. That, I believe, is the valley that we were in on Sanctuary Trail, down there in that opening, right there. Wow, that's cool. And it will be even cooler on top of the tower.
So we hope.
Where? Oh, nice.
Is that an eagle?
I don't know what that is.
He had a white head.
Oh, maybe it was. Wow, just look at him soar. He's really taking that wind. He didn't flap once. And he's kind of going sideways. It looked strange. Wow, this is a cool hike. Only a mile. Definitely packs a punch for the amount of time, for the distance. Because that is really cool. You can see so far. Coming up on the tower now. At the base of the tower. I could video to the left, but it's going to be the same view from the top of the tower, which is closed off. No! So we can't go up anyway.
Can we just go under?
No. So we can just show around. Turn around and show the view. It's kind of the same view I was looking at, but I'm sure the top of the tower makes it a lot cooler. But it's still nice. Kind of the edge of the Black Hills. Looking over all the prairie part. Not just a hiking stick. Also a wiper. You're doing great there. Oh, okay.
Buffalo Gap right there.
Buffalo Gap. Right.
Do you see that one that crevices down?
There. And Badlands.
And we are here.
And we are here.
I think we're missing something.
Nope.
That's all we can see.
I won't stop. We have to get back to the car, so. It is a little slick. It's slushy slush snow. Very wet. Good for a snowball fight. Snowmen.
First, I have to hike in mud. And then I have to hike in snow. I'm here without breaking an ankle. Shocking.
Yeah, it's been pretty slippery. Her knee is still hurting. Hopefully she'll be all right. I keep sliding. It's a neat 1 mile hike. So far, the short ones have really surprised me how cool they are. Oh.
Where is that little fella?
Here, why don't you step forward a little bit so we can see into the clearing more? Sound like he's up over here. Well, we made it back to the actual trailhead. Looks like somebody else decided to be more gung-ho than us and decided to drive up. But it doesn't matter. We like the extra 0.3. You're hiking so that, you know, you get the distance. It's exercise, all of that. So who cares?
That's so cute. Is that a prairie dog?
I don't know.
I'm gonna flip out.
I have no idea what that is.
That's so cute if it is. Look at how tiny.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
And it's all in a row.
Yeah.
And it's not very heavy, obviously, because it doesn't sink down. Oh my gosh.
A woman and her prairie dogs. We were pointing out on the drive up here that they are a lot cuter in the snow because they stand out a lot more against the white, and so it makes them cuter because the vastness really brings out their tiny size. And she is just in love with these prairie dogs. She switched sides of the road so that she could see them better. Oh, that's kind of cool. Must be where the prairie dog popped out. We were wondering too with the snow and if it melts, like, do they get flooding in their little burrows? I don't know. I'm supposed to be the prairie dog expert teaching classes on prairie dogs, and I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. And there is a cute little prairie dog all up in the field. They kind of look like turds right now, but
You should take a picture of me with my TikTok on. It's like Animal Crossing, only in real life.
on the little prairie dog tracks from home to home, burrow to burrow. Okay, so we just finished our third and final hike for Wind Cave National Park. So when we look at all three of the hikes that we did, what do you think our favorites are?
I would say Rankin Ridge, solely because of the snow. If it wasn't the snow, then I would say Sanctuary Trail. So Sanctuary Trail was my second favorite. And then
Wind Cave Canyon. And that's kind of an easy last place because we didn't get deep enough in the hike to even get hardly past any of the man-made structures, and then we couldn't finish it because there's a buffalo on the trail. The hikes in Wind Cave beat my expectations for sure. I didn't know that the Black Hills were a part of Wind Cave. Guess I should have done that research before, but that made it so that Sanctuary Trail was really cool. That made it so that Rankin Ridge Trail was really cool. Wind Cave Canyon Trail, just based off of my experience, I wouldn't recommend it. That's definitely one, in my opinion, that you could pass up if you had to. If you go to Wind Cave, definitely do a tour of the cave. The hikes are cool, but the forte is the actual cave. That's why it's a national park. So make sure you catch that. And then I do suggest going on a few hikes while you're here because they offer some cool views.
thanks for watching.
If you would like to join us on our journey as we travel across the country from national park to national park, please like and subscribe. Thanks again.